Hello everyone and welcome to my channel and welcome to this video. I'm Shelby and as you can tell from the title, I'm talking about the Beatles. I'm talking about the Beatles in this video, and I've actually made a few other videos about the Beatles that I have uploaded, and sadly, oh so sadly, they were blocked because of copyright. The Beatles and Michael Jackson, those are two artists I have had a lot of copyright issues with. I do have one other Beatles video on my channel, and that is me reviewing and talking about why I love Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band album, and I'll leave a card here for that video. It was one of my first videos I did actually. This video I want to continue with a little series that I have been doing, which is ranking or reacting to the top 5 most popular songs by the Beatles on Spotify. I really enjoy doing these types of videos because, especially for artists like the Beatles or just music that's been around a very long time, I'm very curious to see what's most popular. I'm curious to know what Spotify users are listening to most by artists that have been around forever, such as the Beatles, obviously. How these videos work. I'm going to go through the top 5 songs and I list them in order of number of streams. So I will start with number 5 being the least amount streamed and work my way to number 1, and then afterwards I kind of work through the top 5, see if I agree with it, and kind of list what I don't agree with or what surprises there are. If there are any songs that I thought would be in the top 5 most popular that weren't, just kind of discuss it a little bit. The Beatles have so many hits and their songs have been around for decades, and you have people of all ages listening to them. So I feel like there might be some songs that I assume would be in the top 5 that very well could not be in the top 5. So if you are just as curious as I am to see what the world of Spotify users are listening to by the Beatles, keep watching. So the song with the least amount of streams in the top 5 is actually listed at number 4 right now, and that's because they judge popularity by more than just streams in Spotify. I don't know what they all judge it by, but I go by streams. So the one with 322 million streams and then some is Yesterday. And I'm actually really surprised. Yesterday is obviously a hit. I mean, all of these songs are going to be hits, but I am a little surprised to see that one in the top 5. I feel like there are other Beatles songs that I would have potentially put in the top 5 or expected to see in the top 5 over Yesterday, but I can talk about that a little bit towards the end of the video. But we're off to a surprising start. That's what I will say for now. We are off to a surprising start. Number 4 with 352 million streams is Hey Jude. Hey Jude is what I thought. I thought Hey Jude was going to be like number 2 or number 1 on the list, so I am actually really surprised that it's at number 4. I definitely thought Hey Jude was going to be in the top 5, but having it only be at number 4, when I'm thinking about like the insane popularity of that song worldwide and how everyone just seems to know that song, of like many Beatles songs, or if I'm talking with people, I feel like everyone knows Hey Jude, even if they just know the na 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 part, like they know it. So I'm actually very surprised that it's only number 4. I felt like Hey Jude was definitely a contender for number 1. Interesting. Okay. Number 3 at 363 million streams is Let It Be. Let It Be is a song that I really anticipated seeing in the top 5, and seeing it at number 3 I think is exactly where it should be. It is truly such an emotional song. I think so is Yesterday, but Let It Be is so emotional, and I just think it's so pretty and beautiful, an absolute classic ballad. And fun fact, what I think is even more interesting, if you don't know this, many people most likely do at this point, but in the lyrics of Let It Be, when Paul McCartney wrote and sings Mother Mary, I think naturally a lot of people assumed that biblically, with Mary, Mother Mary, Jesus' mom. But actually, and this is in my opinion, the most like heartbreaking thing is Paul McCartney's mother passed away when he was like maybe 14 or something like that. And her name was Mary. So he's actually talking about his mom coming to him in his dreams and coming, like speaking to him. And when I learned that fact, if I didn't think Let It Be wasn't a sad enough song as is, when I learned that, yeah, it broke me. I was like, that is absolutely gorgeous and sad and devastating. It's just all the emotions. I am not surprised whatsoever to see Let It Be on this list, especially at number 3. It feels perfect. Number 2 at 404 million streams. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I am absolutely shocked to see this at number 2, and I am shocked to see it in the top 5. And it is from Abbey Road, Come Together. I don't know why. I mean, obviously Come Together is a hit, but did I think it was going to be in the top 5? Not for 1 second did I think that Come Together was going to be number 2 or like in the top 5 at all, but number 2 I find very surprising, like so surprising. I am shocked that Come Together is at number 2. I mean, it's a song you hear in commercials sometimes, I guess, but when I think of all of the Beatles hits, I just didn't realize it was to that level of popularity for people. Okay then, I'll take it, it's fine. Number 1 on the Beatles' most popular list on Spotify is number 1 by a long shot. Like, it has 632 million streams. So stream-wise, it's totally smashing the other songs. And it's actually a song that I personally love. Am very surprised to see it at number 1, but I'm actually quite happy because it's one written by George Harrison, and it is Here Comes the Sun, also from Abbey Road. I think it's fabulous that a George Harrison song is number 1. Am I surprised? Yes. I'm gonna just go ahead and say it. This is probably the most surprising top 5 I have seen of artists that I have done this for. This top 5 is kind of confusing me, but nonetheless, I am so happy to see Here Comes the Sun on the top 5 and very surprised to see it at number 1. George Harrison, I mean, especially in earlier Beatles, all you heard was Lennon McCartney, Lennon McCartney. And as the Beatles grew, I think George Harrison really started to get his time to shine a bit more with the songwriting. Not as much as what he probably should have had, but because of that, maybe not as much recognition from the earlier days that he should have gotten on some of the songs. I'm very pleased to see that Here Comes the Sun is getting all the love, even in present day time, with over 600 million streams, so over 630 million streams. That is massive. It's easy listening, it's touching, it's uplifting, it's very relatable. It's definitely a song that could be played anywhere at any time, and it's not going to offend anyone. It's just a sweet one. It's a sweet, positive song. So at this point in the video, I'm gonna have the list of the 5 songs right here on the screen, and I'm gonna let it sit there for a little bit so you can absorb it, take it in. But now it's time to discuss this top 5 a little bit. I can honestly say out of all of the top 5 videos I have made for artists, this list has got me completely shocked. Like, there are some songs on there that I definitely expected to see, but all in all, I find this list very surprising on a number of levels. For starters, can we talk about the fact that there is no like really early Beatles song on here, which I am so confused by. I just find it so surprising that like there isn't a single really early Beatles song in this top 5. Like, a couple songs immediately that I thought possibly would have been in the top 5 would be Twist and Shout. And also, if not Twist and Shout, I Want to Hold Your Hand. I just assumed I Want to Hold Your Hand was going to be in the top 5. Like, I truly, truly thought that that was going to be in the top 5, but like none of the early Beatles songs were in the top 5, which I do find very very interesting. Like, I really truly do. I wonder why that is. I mean, I don't know. I just find it surprising. I don't know. I also feel like the song A Hard Day's Night was really popular, which is also the name of an album, A Hard Day's Night. But I'd probably put I Want to Hold Your Hand over A Hard Day's Night in universal popularity. But it is really surprising. It is. As Yesterday is in the top 5 from the Help album, I actually kind of thought I was going to see Help itself in the top 5. I mean, the more I think about it, Yesterday is very popular. I just thought between like Beatles ballads, I knew Let It Be would be in the top 5. I didn't know if Yesterday was gonna make it. A lot of people also like Blackbird too. So I guess truly I thought Let It Be was going to be the sole ballad. I mean, I guess, can you call Hey Jude a ballad? Not really. I thought Let It Be was going to be the sole ballad and that maybe Help would have been there instead of Yesterday from that album. So that was a bit of a surprise for me. Now, from good old Revolver, there wasn't a single song from Revolver in the top 5. And I felt like, I don't know, Eleanor Rigby in present day, I feel like is a pretty popular Beatles song. Like, I feel like I've heard enough people in my age range that have listened to and like Eleanor Rigby. So I thought maybe Eleanor Rigby was going to sneak its way into the top 5. But I was wrong. There was no Revolver representation in this top 5. Another Beatles album that didn't get any love in the top 5 was Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. It breaks my heart that there wasn't a single song from this album in the top 5. I knew it would be a stretch. This is just me selfishly speaking. If there were going to be a song from this album in the top 5, I thought it probably would have been Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. Once again, I do feel like that is a song a lot of people in my age range do know, but I guess it just isn't popular enough to make it onto the top 5 list, sadly. It's okay. And then finally, I am very pleased with Here Comes the Sun being in the top 5. It being number 1 is kind of insane to me, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm not mad about it. I'm just thinking it was very surprising to see it at number 1, but I'm all about giving George Harrison some love in this top 5. But also, I do think Come Together was a little surprising to see. I mean, obviously, I really enjoy Come Together, and I just was surprised to see it at number 2. I thought maybe instead of Come Together, Day Tripper would maybe make an appearance instead of Come Together, but I guess what this top 5 tells me is that collectively speaking, people of the world can't get enough of the Abbey Road album because both of the number 1 and number 2 songs in the top 5 come from that one album. So I guess I was completely wrong. I knew this was going to be a very unexpected top 5 to look at because when it comes to the Beatles, there's like 1,000 different ways that top 5 could go. And a lot of it is, even with me, when I do like evaluate, I really do try and take personal preference out of it because there are so many Beatles songs that I just love that I know wouldn't have a chance at the top 5. But the songs that I thought would have a chance, a lot of them were on there. And then there were a few surprises and some that I did expect. So it is very interesting to look at what the most popular Beatles songs are of today, and I definitely am I'm a little surprised. I'm a little bit shocked by some of it. I can't say any of it makes me mad because I do love all of these songs, but I am a little bit stumped on a few that weren't in the list. But I also know it's a very slim list and it's very tough to only have 5 songs. So let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on this top 5. Do you agree with it? Are there any surprises that you thought when maybe were either missing from the list or surprises on the list? I definitely love to know in the comments, so let's go ahead and have a discussion about that. And if you enjoyed this video, please feel free to give it a thumbs up and do not forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already. I really appreciate it. Thank you for watching, especially if you made it until the very end of this video. And until next time, bye.